Our pivots have been put in place very carefully, and now it's time to test them out. Let's see whether or not when we move the parent pivot that the children follow. And we're going to take our time and we're going to test each pivot because it can be crucial if you're in a production environment. Let's start off, of course, with the head. So we'll click on the head pivot down here in the timeline to select it. And we're going to use the transform tool here to try everything out. So we don't need to use this rotate tool, we're going to use the transform tool. And we're going to click on the handle and we're going to rotate the head and see if it moves. Okay, that's fine. Because what he's going to do is pretty much dip his head just a little bit. And the pivot point should actually probably be a little higher up. So I'm going to undo that. And we're going to move the pivot for the head just a little further back. And as I said before, this is something that's going to happen no matter what you work on. You're going to have to adjust things. And that's why we're testing the pivots. That's better. Okay, I like the way that moves. Now let's go ahead and try to move the right arm. So in the timeline, I'm going to choose the right arm peg. And once again, if everything is parented properly, it will glow. And I'm going to go ahead and move that arm. And great, the forearm follows, the hand follows, the revolver follows. Let's move on and test out the right forearm. That worked great. Let's move down to the right hand. And the trick here is to see whether the revolver will follow. And it does. I'm so happy so far. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the revolver will rotate. So we're going to grab the revolver and we're going to spin that guy around. Because the revolvers are going to spin around in this animation. He's going to be a fancy, highfalutin cowboy. Now we're going to go to the left arm and try that pivot out. So let me go ahead and move this view down just a little bit. And we'll grab the handle and move that. Great. He's ready to draw. Let's go to the left forearm. And you know what? Once again, I just want to mention that this seems like it's a lot of work, a lot of time that may be, in your opinion, wasted. But think about it this way. By testing it out very carefully, we can then relax and have a good time animating the character and not worrying about when things go wrong that way. So this little bit of preventive maintenance goes a long way in establishing that you and your animation team can just worry about the animation chores and not worry about whether the character is going to animate properly. So this is an important stage in the animation process. It may seem like a pain, but trust me, it's worth it because in the long run, you just want to sit down and have a good time instead of having to fix problems. Okay, so the poncho animates as well, and all of our pivots work. We're ready now to move into our rough animation phase.